finally, I'm gonna get to do something on video that I've wanted to do for a while, and that is gonna be smoking some beef cheeks to make a smoked barbacoa grilled cheese sandwich. So what I'm working with today are just a couple pieces of beef cheek here. It's not the whole cheek together. And if you really want to know how to cook authentic barbacoa, I would really recommend you go over to my friend Joe's channel, Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue. I'll put a link in the description and up here. He does great barbacoa, and I'm following some of his methods today. I'm doing things a little different just because of the presentation I'm going to be doing at the end with a grilled cheese sandwich. Now, I thought about doing a taco or a burrito, but people use the beef cheeks, the barbacoa in that a lot, and I wanted to try something different. Also, something different is this is Wagyu beef cheek meat. I had a really hard time finding good quality beef cheek in my area, and so I actually reached out to my friends at Wodagyu, which is a family-run ranch in Texas. They've sent me beef many times, Wagyu beef, to use in videos. All their beef is hormone-free, pasture-raised, it's 21-day dry-aged. Now, I don't know if the beef cheeks were dry-aged, but they look terrific, and Wodagyu said, yeah, we'll send you some if you want to try some. And if you want to go ahead and check out Wodagyu's products, their beef is amazing. You can use the coupon code CWR if you buy anything in checkout, and that'll give you 20% off your order. Now, I don't know if they're selling the beef cheeks, but everything else they have is absolutely amazing. And I guess if you really want beef cheeks, you could call them and ask. But I'm gonna go ahead and get this seasoned up, and then we're gonna smoke it out on the Weber Kettle. And the rub I'm using today is a Malabar steak rub from Stephen Reichlin. We're just gonna hit this, get a nice coating on here. And I trimmed this up a little bit when I received it. I'm nowhere near as good at trimming as Joe is over at Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue, so if you really wanna see how to do that, go there. I'm just really happy that I get to make this today finally. Now, on one of these pieces, you'll see that I left a lot more fat. I wanted just to try that and see what that does when you're smoking it over this longer period, how much fat renders on this, because I really don't have a lot of experience with beef cheeks. This is a very herby rub on here, so it's different than what you would do for a traditional barbacoa, but I think it's going to be great for this grilled cheese sandwich we're going to make. All right, I'm gonna get this in a Ziploc bag. It's gonna go in the refrigerator for about an hour to sort of get all these flavors in there, and then we're gonna head out to the Weber Kettle. So I have the Mallory M1 cast iron grate in my kettle today with briquette baskets on either side. I don't have the wings on the Mallory grate. Don't need them, gives me better access to these briquette baskets. And the reason I'm using two briquette baskets will become clear later when it's time to grill up our grilled cheese sandwich. So let's get our beef cheeks on. I also have the ambient temperature probe in here for the ThermoWorks smoke, and I'm gonna add some hickory wood now. Just gonna add one piece to start. We'll add the other piece later if we need to. Let's get our lid on and get smoking. My bottom vent is set in the 2/3 open position, and my top vent is set in the 1/2 open position. So this first part of the cook is going to be going for about 2 hours, and that's going to be with the kettle temp in the 250 to 300 degree range. After a couple hours, we're going to transfer these beef cheek pieces into a foil pan, add some liquid, seal it up in foil, and that's going to go on for at least another 2 hours, probably 3. We really want these to be pull apart tender. So we're going to let these get smoking, and I'll see you in a couple hours. All right, we are about an hour into this cook. The kettle's holding good at 272, and I'm going to add another piece of hickory now. These are looking good. Want to give them just a little spritz, just with some regular plain water, nothing else. Just want to keep a little moisture on that surface. Go ahead and add another piece of hickory here. We're going to get our lid on, keep smoking. In another hour, we're going to put these in a foil pan, sealed up with some nice liquid. All right, the kettle's holding at 271, 270. It is time to transfer our beef cheeks into a foil pan. Those are looking outstanding. Now traditionally you might use beef broth here. I'm actually going to use some apple juice. I'm adding maybe half a cup. We're going to get this covered up with foil and get it back on the kettle. All right, I'm going to get the lid on, let this keep cooking, and we're going to go for 3 hours. See you back here in 3 hours. All right, so here are our pieces of beef cheeks, our barbacoa. As I was lifting it out of the pan, it already started to come apart here, so I'm just going to continue to break this down so we can go ahead and build our barbacoa grilled cheese sandwich. Let's see here. Yeah, it's just, I think you can see there, it's just pulling apart. Still hot. It's been resting here for about 15 minutes, but oh man. Nice. Really good smell coming off this with that Malabar steak rub. Oh, should I steal a little taste? Yeah. Oh man. All right, I'm gonna set this aside so we can start building our grilled cheese sandwich and get it out to the Weber Kettle. So I have a couple pieces of freshly sliced pumpernickel bread here. And what I want to do is I'm going to put some butter on both sides of each piece, and this is a chili butter. All this is some softened butter with about 2 teaspoons of chili powder. I used a Hatch red chili powder. Get a good amount of butter on here. Put it on a plate here so we can butter the inside. Now the cheese I'm going to be using today for this grilled cheese sandwich is a shredded horseradish cheddar cheese. Good amount on here to start. And if some spills out, that's all right. Now I want to get some of our barbacoa in here, or beef cheek meat. I'm not sure if it's technically barbacoa the way that I'm serving it, but you know, I'll probably just keep calling it that. It sounds so much better than beef cheek. Press that down in there. Get some more cheese on top here. Top piece. Butter this side. All right, let's get this out to the Weber kettle and get our cast iron griddle going on that. Well, I told you there was a reason for having the 2 briquette baskets in there, and this is it. I'm going to slide each one under the center section of the cooking grate. That gives me a direct zone for my cast iron griddle. We're going to let that heat up, then we're going to cook up our barbacoa grilled cheese sandwich. All right, let's get our barbacoa grilled cheese on the griddle. Give this a turn. Looking good. Love that dark pumpernickel. All right, I'm gonna put the lid on the kettle for a few minutes to help that cheese melt. Ah, yes, that is looking good. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this off, get it inside. We're gonna cut it and we're gonna have a taste. All right, here is our smoked barbacoa grilled cheese. Now I'm going to cut this in half, and then what I wanna do is I wanna plate it up with some guacamole that I made. Reason is, this has that little bit of a southwestern touch to it. Figured it'd be nice to sort of dip it in that guacamole when we taste. Ah, there we go. All right, we're gonna go ahead and plate this up now. A little bit of our fresh guacamole here. We've got a great meal, and it is time to taste. I gotta say, it was a warm day out at the kettle today. Pretty hot, like 98 degrees, but this was worth it. I'm gonna take a bite first without adding any real guacamole. I think this touched it a little bit of green on there. But let's dive into this smoked barbacoa grilled cheese. That is insanely good. That barbacoa is so tender. I have to thank Joe at Smokin' Joe's Pit Barbecue for the great information in his videos on how to do this. Now, if I had done it like he did for tacos and things like that, I think I would have added more liquid to the foil pan. And he also put some onions underneath, which I think is a great idea. But because I knew I was taking it out, I'm gonna use it straight in a grilled cheese. I decided against that. His looks amazing and this tastes fantastic. That horseradish cheddar is a really nice addition to this. Gives you that extra little bit of bite, and now I want to see how that's going to taste with some of the guacamole on here. I'm actually running out of words to use here. This just tastes so good. That pumpernickel works so good with this. The chili butter on the outside, just a tiny bit of heat, not too much. Without a doubt, I will be making this again. So if you can get some beef cheeks at your store, your butcher, go ahead and get them. Give them some time on the kettle or your smoker, that time to develop, that time to tenderize. Use them in tacos, burritos, or if you want, in a grilled cheese sandwich because it is fantastic. Out of this world good.